Tonight on the Final Score, LSU men's basketball mounted another huge comeback in SEC play in an attempt to stay unbeaten in conference play, but came up just short. We'll bring you full stories in the PMAC.
Plus, the Super Bowl was last night, and we'll talk about how some former Tigers fared on the biggest stage. And we'll also talk about the Boycott Bowl held by the New Orleans Saints fans. All that and more, the Final Score starts right now. Welcome to the Final Score. I'm Lily Fontenot. She's Caroline Fenton, and it was a packed weekend for LSU sports.
It really was, but first we have to start with the number 19 ranked men's basketball team and how they fared against Arkansas as they tried to stay undefeated in SEC play. Let's go back to Saturday at the PMAC. It was a sold-out crowd on the PMAC Saturday night for the Tigers matchup against Arkansas. LSU getting their momentum, going early. Skylar Mays with an over-the-head toss to Naz Reid, and it is a bucket. Put 3 on the board for LSU. Later on in the first, Mays is there again with an attempted 3, missed, and then slammed by Marlon Taylor. This guy dunks more than an Oreo in a glass of milk. Later on in the game, we've got another alley-oop, and boom, everybody in the PMAC is absolutely going crazy. That place was rocking. Arkansas's Daniel Gafford starting to feel a little bit of the pressure from the purple and gold. He's catching his breath here, and then we're moving on later in the second. LSU is up by 1. Tremont Waters missed an alley-oop. Marlon Taylor misses the bucket. The Razorbacks recover the ball with a few seconds left. Mason Jones with a big run and a layup to take the lead. Hogs the lead 90-89. LSU falls short.
Let's keep it in the PMAC and go to gymnastics. The 5th-ranked Tigers took on North Carolina State, trying to stay on top after beating number 9 Alabama last week in Tuscaloosa. Sports reporter Courtney Lane Brewer was there and has the recap.
In a solid tune-up meet before taking on 4 straight weeks of conference play, LSU Gymnastics beat out the NC State Wolfpack 197.15 to 195.375.
I think the fact that we did what we did tonight and went a 197 and a little bit gives us reason to feel good about it, but it also gives us another check mark, and we've got to get in the gym and get better.
Junior Kennedy Edney and senior Sarah Finnegan both competed in the all-around, scoring a 39.425 and a 39.65 respectively.
I just want to do my job for my team because the biggest reward is having a championship. The biggest reward is enjoying a title with your teammates.
Senior McKenna Kelly made her beam debut as well as scoring a 9.85 on vault and a 9.975 on floor in only her 3rd meet post-injury.
The anticipation was the worst part, but once I got up there, it felt normal, and all I heard was my team and saw the beam in front of me. So, like Dee says, no mind, just get up and let your body do what you're supposed to.
Tonight was the annual Pink and Blue meet, promoting awareness for breast and prostate cancer.
That we can compete for a cause that's greater than ourselves. We can dedicate one meet of the year to just those survivors or the people suffering or the people we've lost. And it's not just the pink and blue, it's everyone else who suffered from cancer. But it's a really good feeling to know that you're not just competing for you, so yourself or your team or your family.
Next week, the Tigers travel to Lexington to take on the Kentucky Wildcats, but return to the PMAC February 17th to take on Mizzou. For Tiger TV Sports, I'm Courtney Lane Brewer.
The win is LSU's 2nd in a row after losing 2 straight in the middle of January. Now, a group of women who did not fare well in the PMAC over the weekend was the women's basketball team. Tiger TV sports reporter Carell Robinson has the story from the Lady Tigers' tough outing against the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
The LSU Lady Tigers suffered a tough loss at home tonight against the number 6 ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs. The defense showed up, holding Mississippi State to only 68 points, but the offense only scored 35.
The offensive or lack there of offensive execution by our team, we're going to have to really spend a lot more energy, a lot more practice in making layups, making wide open shots, taking care of the basketball, just the fundamentals of the game. And we're going to keep doing that until it becomes habit for this group.
LSU had their season's worst shooting performance, going only 21% from the field on 12 for 57 shooting.
When we get that open look, you got to knock down the shot. You know, when you get a layup, you got to make it. And that's what we've got to improve in that area. we got enough shot attempts. We had 57 shot attempts. And we did a little bit better taking care of the basketball in the second half. But to get almost 60 field goals and only connect on 20% of those, it's going to be a long offensive struggle for us.
Junior forward Ayanna Mitchell was not pleased with the effort the team left on the court.
We don't take this serious. We don't take certain games serious. We don't take this conference serious. We don't take the fact that we are able to play this game and get up and do what we want to do and what we love to do every day. We don't take it serious.
This is just the first of a 3-game homestand as LSU prepares to host Missouri Monday night at 6 o'clock. This is Correll Robinson, Tiger TV.
After their game against Missouri tonight in the PMAC, the Lady Tigers will welcome Arkansas on Thursday.
So let's go from one court to another as LSU tennis was also in action over the weekend, and Tiger TV sports reporter Lauren Cochran was there and has the story. Lauren?
Thanks, Caroline. LSU tennis got the doubleheader win yesterday. The women swept Rice 7-0 and beat Southern 4-0 last night.
I thought we just kind of dialed it in this morning and carried that over into this evening's match.
The Tigers led off their home opener with a sweep. The women's tennis team continued their strong start to the season with back-to-back wins against Rice and Southern. Head coach Julia Sell says endurance played a huge role.
It's a testament to what we have been doing and really what, a lot of the work was done in the fall, all the running, all the lifting, all the workouts. I think it's all paying off. You can see they're all in pretty good form, and I think they're doing a good job of taking care of their bodies right now.
Qualifying for the national team indoor champs is a huge honor for the Tigers. Coach Sell compared it to making the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. She thinks it will be a good preview and positive experience for the team.
I want them to go and go after it. I want them to go and realize they belong there and just play their hearts out, and that's what it's all about, and we'll see where it takes us from there.
The men will travel to Memphis on February 10th, and the women will travel to Seattle for the National Team Indoor Championships on February 8th through the 11th. Guys?
When we return, we'll break down Super Bowl Sunday and the festivities that we saw go down in Louisiana.
Welcome back to the show. Yesterday was Super Bowl Sunday as many, but not all, eyes were on Atlanta to see the Patriots take on the Rams.
Super Bowl 53 was the lowest watched Super Bowl in nearly a decade, and the low ratings matched the low offensive output in the game. The Patriots beat the Rams 13-3 in the lowest scoring Super Bowl ever, an objectively boring game that was tied at 3 going into the final quarter.
Tom Brady ultimately led New England to his 6th Super Bowl, which makes him the winningest Super Bowl player in league history. Receiver Julian Edelman was named Super Bowl MVP. After the egregious missed pass interference call, which cost the New Orleans Saints a spot in the Super Bowl, there was a lot of talk about a boycott of the game, and the city of New Orleans came through. The game drew in just a 26.1 rating, the lowest ever Super Bowl rating in New Orleans and the lowest of any market nationally. For reference, the national rating was 44.6.
And instead of watching the game, a lot of fans went out and partied instead. The Houdat Nation lined the streets of New Orleans in celebration, and instead of watching this year's big game, people watched replays of the 2009 Super Bowl in which the Saints beat the Indianapolis Colts. Fans also flaunted yellow flags and a jab at the NFL.
Super Bowl Sunday wasn't all bad for those with Louisiana ties. 3 former LSU Tigers earned Super Bowl rings last night as quarterback Danny Etling, running back Jeremy Hill, and defensive lineman Frank Herron were all on the winning Patriots roster. The LSU presence in the game extends the record of former Tigers playing in the Super Bowl to 17 straight years. When we return, we'll talk more about New Orleans' reaction to Super Bowl Sunday. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the final score. As we mentioned, New Orleans was having none of the NFL's nonsense yesterday, posting the lowest Super Bowl rating in the city's history, and the local newspaper followed suit.
The Times-Picayune's front page looked like this. Super Bowl? What Super Bowl? This is after their brilliant, reffing unbelievable headline after the Saints lost the NFC title game to the Rams. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Be sure to follow us on all social media at LSU Tiger TV and on Twitter at TTV_sports. Also check out our website, tigertv.tv, for all things LSU sports and news.
Thanks for watching. Good night, Tigers.